Okay, after the great victory on Mount Carmel, Elijah faces fear, despair, and renewal. This chapter shows that God's work is not only in fire and power, but also in quiet whisper of his presence. The first part of the chapter covers Elijah flees from Jezebel. Ahab tells Jezebel everything Elijah did, including the death of Baal's prophets. Jezebel vows, "May the gods deal with me severely if by this time tomorrow I do not make your life like one of them." Afraid, Elijah flees into the wilderness. He sits under a broom tree and prays, "I have had enough. Lord, take my life." He falls asleep, but an angel touches him, providing bread baked on hot stones and a jar of water. This happens twice. Strengthened by the food, Elijah travels 40 days and nights to Mount Horeb, which is in Sinai. Even prophets can sink into despair, but God meets them with compassion and provision. The second part of the chapter covers. Oh, sorry. The second part covers God's presence at Horeb. Elijah hides in a cave. God asks, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah laments, "Israel has forsaken the covenant, torn down altars, killed prophets, and I'm the only one left." That's what he said. God tells him to stand on the mountain. Then he comes. A powerful wind, but the Lord is not in it. An earthquake, but the Lord is not in it. A fire, but the Lord is not in it. Then a gentle whisper. Elijah covers his face with his cloak. God is present in the quiet. Again, God asks, "What are you doing here?" Elijah repeats his lament. God teaches Elijah that his work is not always in dramatic displays, but in quiet, persistent ways. Right? The third part of this chapter covers God recommissions Elijah. God gives Elijah a mission: anoint Hazael king over Aram, anoint Jehu king over Israel, anoint Elisha as prophet in his place. God reassures him, "I reserve 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed to Baal." Elijah is not alone. God still has faithful people and a plan. The fourth part of this chapter covers the call of Elisha. Elijah finds Elisha plowing with 12 yoke of oxen. Elijah throws his cloak over him, a symbolic calling. Elisha slaughters his oxen, burns the plowing equipment, cooks the meat, and gives it to the people. Then he follows Elijah and becomes his servant. Elisha leaves everything behind to fully follow God's call. What are the key lessons from the First Kings, chapter 19? The first lesson is, even the faithful can feel overwhelmed. Elijah's despair shows the reality of human weakness. Second lesson, God works in unexpected ways, not only in fire and wind, but in a gentle whisper, static, quiet transformation. Third lesson, we are never truly alone. Elijah thought he was the last prophet, but God had preserved thousands. Fourth lesson, God's calls require surrender. Elisha gave up everything to follow, showing total commitment. Elijah flees Jezebel, weary and afraid, but God meets him with provision, a whisper, and renewed mission. He learns God works not only in dramatic miracles but also in quiet faithfulness. Elisha is called as his successor, ensuring God's work continues, okay?